Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the channel. My name's LT Slayer. If you're new here, welcome. I upload a lot of gameplay of looting extractors and hardcore survivals, and I do a lot of discussions. And today we have a discussion that it's actually my worst nightmare as of lately. So if you guys haven't heard, the game Dark and Darker is a loot and extractor game that is pretty much a Dungeons and Dragons like a sword fighting game essentially, and it's a loot and extractor kind of like Tarkov. And recently it's been going through some rocky water. There's been just normal developer issues, just normal bugs and things with the game. Then there's been a issue with cheaters, and now my actual nightmare has become real. The game has been taken off of Steam, and it has been issued a dmca takedown. If you guys don't know what that is, I show the actual book definition of the word and what it persists of. And yeah, so Dark and Darker, Ironmace, this company, smaller company, has been issued this. So quickly, how did this affect them? So in a simple form, just not too deep into it, the game has been removed from Steam. For the last 4 playtests, or for all the playtests that I've known and it has existed, when the playtest wasn't available or when you weren't able to play the game, it's always been on Steam. You just can't download it, but you can see it on Steam. But now, if you go there now, you can't see it on Steam at all. It's removed completely. I've never seen that before, and my heart is just broken completely. This literally took over me. This turned into my favorite game. This was like my main game. I was waiting for the playtest to drop now. Well, the playtest that they were having come up, I was waiting for that. Stoked, and yeah, we get hit with this. So, Dark and Darker has been removed from Steam, with this developer's ironmace claiming that a cease and desist letter and a dmca takedown has resulted in the removal from the online store, which is Steam, pretty sure. Ironmace, the game developer studio, has been locked in a legal battle with the publisher, Nexon. These are the people claiming that these guys have stolen a bunch of assets, assets are things like, the goblets that you loot, or just the small things you loot, just all those little small things that you can just download, period. I think a lot of those, they're downloaded from Unreal Engines or something like that. Please, I'm sorry, I don't know exactly, but I'm sure a lot of people know. But you can download a lot of those from an Unreal Engine free store or something from Steam, I believe. I know a lot of games do things like that with free mods and different things like that. Some games being like Daisy and games like that. But yeah, so Nexon is pretty much claiming that they're stealing assets. They stole assets, this and that, probably other things. But they issued a takedown for them. So the publisher claims that Dark and Darker has stolen gameplay, rules, and art from its own unreleased game, which has the working title of P3. So Nexon is a big developer. I think they made MapleStory also, which is a big genre. MapleStory's been around for a minute. I believe they're the creators of MapleStory, but they have a title also by the name of P3 that they're saying that Dark and Darker pretty much stole assets from. So now Nexon seem to have, upped their game on them. They're coming for their heads like crazy style. So essentially, it's no longer even on Steam now. So they're a lot bigger a lot bigger company than Ironmace. Ironmace is a small company that just really started. Is very strong, far as community based driven games, very strong in that area. And it's not the richest and just the most wealthy company, but Nexon is a pretty big company, and they got a couple titles that have been doing something for a minute. So the fact that they're like really badgering Iron Mace in a hole about this is ridiculous to me. I've never played P3. I've never even heard of P3 to be honest, but I'm gonna do my research on that. But I'm guessing it's a similar title to Dark and Darker, or if it's not the same genre, it's got the same type of assets. Must be some type of dungeony thing if they're complaining about assets like that being taken. So about a month ago, a content creator by the name of Osman Gold, you guys probably know him. He's a big WoW creator. He pretty much did a reaction video to another content creator that was pretty much brought it up before it was even like a deal, before anybody even like took it serious. They had brought up that people were saying there was stolen assets or just stolen things about it. I had seen this video, but I didn't take it seriously, obviously, because I was new to Dark and Dark in the whole, and I just didn't think that it would get this far. But let's take some quick looks at these clips and just see like how the future was told and how we should have just actually kind of paid attention and gave this information some more weight.
Dark and Darker is a stolen IP. Is this game stolen? Here we go. Let's watch it. Why not? This is interesting, I'm sure.
See, there's the possibility that Dark and Darker may have, I guess, stolen some assets, possibly an entire game from Nexon. So this morning, this morning my time anyway, a Korean staff blogger by the name of Woody posted an article on the popular gaming site This Is Game that stated that Dark and Darker may have been created from stolen assets from the gaming media mega corporation Nexon. To be fair, this entire article was written in Korean, and I'm using Google Translate to the best of its ability to translate this, but for the most part I think the translation is accurate and you definitely get the idea. And for those unfamiliar, Nexon is a Seoul, South Korea-based company that is most famous for having created the game MapleStory.
So with a brief pause, we can assure that Nexon is, in fact, a mega corporation, and they have the power and the money behind them to fight this legal battle all the way through, I'm sure. And Iron Mace is a small company that is not the richest, and there's been talk in the Discord, I am in the Discord, about the community actually funding them to continue this legal battle. I've literally seen that with my eyes from multiple messages from the Discord. And that could possibly be a thing. I love Discord enough. I would actually, donate to them. But for them to go against this corporation and for this to be, this is going to be a heavy toll on them. Let's just say that they, actually go to court and just take it all the way through. All this time and money is going to be spent on legal battles. Nothing's going to be spent on developing the game. Nothing's going to be spent on fixing the bugs. Nothing's going to be, spent on the anti-cheat that they need to put in place, that they need to enforce. None of that. Everything's going to be focused on saving the game as a whole. And I just think as a whole, it's just an L for Iron Mace. However this turns out, it's just a big L for them. It's just so unfortunate. But I'm going to finish rolling these clips here.
Although Nexon has developed a large series,
You have to remember, MapleStory was the genesis of microtransactions.
of other games, all of them, for the most part, are gacha games.
Yep.
They're games that are derived from taking money.
So that means that Dark and Darker will have gacha in it. There it is.
For premium currency and whatnot, skins, all of that other stuff, trying to incentivize all of us into going in as whales into whatever game it is that they've been producing.
All right, let's pause. So the companies from Korea, they made MapleStory, and MapleStory and all their games are based around microtransactions. And they're essentially stepping on a smaller company's neck over assets. That sounds like a very greedy individual person or just entity. That sounds very ridiculous. First of all, red flag, all of their games are incentivized with like microtransactions, I'm sorry. So pretty much in a simple, straightforward form, everything that they do with the game, development-wise, is pretty much based on making a dollar. It's all about, what they can charge the consumer for, or what they can charge the customer with, be it skins, mods, whatever that the game may host or may, be available for purchase or to benefit the player. It's just microtransactions. And we see that with a lot of games that are either one, dying or dead, or just got greedy developers that the community already knows that about them, and they're just like, the game is just like, at that type of state. We see that a lot with games. APB was one of the huge ones with Joker boxes, 99-cent Joker boxes. Then they changed it to like just a bunch of other stuff. Then they changed the marketplace. It was ridiculous. It was so ridiculous. It was so many microtransactions that it became like a gambling addiction. And I'm pretty sure that's how this company is running their games. Nexon, sorry, not ironmace. And this just looks like it. So let's keep rolling clips here.
Before I get into the meat of this video, though, I want to be very clear that there are no sources, actual sources, being cited in the article.
Well,
they don't reference anyone at Nexon, they don't state that they have a source at Nexon, and they do not link to any external source. They don't even state that they had a conversation with anyone at Nexon or anyone close to Nexon, or provide any other media than a few screenshots that were taken from a games showcase that was teasing a project from August 2021. Also, while I have attempted to reach out to Terry, the CEO of ironmace Games, as well as a couple of other developers that I've been working closely with at the development team over the course of the various playtests,
I would definitely say that, like, if you look at these screenshots, like this screenshot, if this is a screenshot from the Nexon game, this is exactly like Dark and Darker. But
also,
I think this is just Dark and Darker.
I have attempted to reach out to Terry, the CEO of ironmace Games, as well as a couple of other developers that I've been working closely with at the development team.
Wait, let me see if I can see.
Of ironmace Games, as well as a couple of other developers that I've been working closely with at the...
Is this exactly the same? Maybe a bit, but like not really.
I'm not gonna lie. I have opened a lot of dungeon doors in Dark and Darker, and these candles look kind of damn familiar.
Yeah, I mean...
development team over the course of the various playtests. I have not been able to reach or gain comment from any of them about this, and given the time of day that I'm recording this, it's likely that they are kind of going off to sleep right now. You know, they've been working 30 and 40 hour days at a clip trying to make sure that the server stayed up, so I don't blame them for trying to get some sleep.
Just some food for thought here. For the time being that I've experienced in the Discord and playing, ironmace has never really brought up or even made it apparent or even mentioned the fact that somebody had an issue or was claiming anything about stolen assets. Essentially, if this was a legal thing or something going on, they never told the community. They never mentioned it, which I can kind of see. Like, you really don't want to mention like some crap like that with your company, but at the same time, look at the community now. The community's, ready to fund. So that just says that the community would have wanted to help, or they could be of some help. If you guys just would have been open about it. But this is not good. So officially, it's been taken down off Steam. Some of the assets that I've seen in there, like the candles, some of those look the same. Like the spider webbing on the wall, some of that looks the same. But come on, I mean, like, how different are you gonna make the candle look in that setting? Like, how are they gonna go out their way to make a candle look that much different? A candle, you can make a candle look different, but it's still a candle. It's kind of look the same. And for Nexon for them to be such a big company, for them to be biting at something this small is kind of crazy. So guys, I just want to wrap this up as my favorite game has bit the dust. This is an actual nightmare for me. Every playtest was like something I look forward to. I just woke up like, I'm not gonna lie, like when the playtests were coming up to drop, like I was like 2 days prior, I was like, working out, like getting sleep at night, like making sure my schedule was right so I could play all day, like shaping my life around it down there. Now it's just not even a thing. I know some other creator or company, developer, indie studio, whatever, gonna try to pick the concept up and recreate it, but it just ain't gonna be the same. Just ain't gonna be the same. And it's just a big L. All the great video games are just, man, the gaming industry is just taking an L on the whole. There's cheating epidemic with every game. Stuff like this, just microtransaction based games in a whole. That's just making gaming bad too. And yeah, I'm very disappointed, but yeah, just wanted to let you guys know that there's no more Dark and Darker. Probably won't be any more content. It's just a big L. But yeah, Slayer out, guys. This is just a nightmare. Straight L. GG.